Long before we strung it across continents in copper wires, electricity was a wild, untamed force of nature. Nikola Tesla captured that force. He engineered the alternating current systems that power the modern world. But the same mind that could visualize complex magnetic fields eventually turned inward, isolating itself among humming coils and scattered wiring. He developed rigid, exact compulsions. He demanded exactly 18 napkins to wipe down his dining table, and he would walk around a city block exactly 3 times before opening the front door of a building. In January 1943, he died penniless and alone in the New Yorker hotel. He had deliberately chosen room 3327 because the number is perfectly divisible by 3. Tesla's late-life compulsions suggest a mind caught between 2 poles, a devastating neurodivergence and a genuine, high-level observation of how our number systems actually hold together. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. That single quote, attributed to Tesla, has detached from his historical biography and taken on a life of its own. Millions of people now practice what they call the 3-6-9 manifestation method. They write down a specific desire 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night, believing this numerical rhythm aligns human intention with the frequency of the cosmos. Others attempt to prove it through geometry. Alternative researchers like Marko Rodin argue these numbers represent a distinct flux field, a higher dimensional vector of energy that dictates how the physical world organizes itself. To understand what Tesla actually saw, we have to filter out a century of mythology. By looking directly at the arithmetic, we can trace the exact patterns that captivated him and see where the math leads. Natural doubling goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Using the digital root, we add digits until a single number remains. 16 becomes 7, 32 becomes 5, 64 becomes 1. This creates an infinite repeating loop, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. The pattern extends infinitely in both directions. Yet, no matter how far you calculate, 3, 6, and 9 never appear in this sequence. If we isolate the first missing number, 3, and double it, we get 6, 12, 24. Calculating their digital roots yields a completely different result. 3 and 6 form an isolated circuit. Doubling them creates an alternating loop, separate from the sequence below. Then there is 9. Doubling to 18 or 36 yields a static digital root. It remains locked at 9, a singularity overlooking the active numbers. We see echoes of this numerical hierarchy throughout human history. The major structures at Giza were built as a triad. Imperial Chinese architecture, like the Temple of Heaven, was heavily based on 9-fold symmetry, integrating the number into concentric rings to reflect cosmic order. From ancient monuments to infinite digital sequences, 3, 6, and 9 appear to operate outside the standard physical flow of energy, acting as an enlightened framework governing the universe from above. This sequence behaves with a clockwork regularity because of a structural property known as casting out nines. In our base 10 system, 9 is 1 digit less than the ceiling. Adding 9 is identical to adding 10 and subtracting 1. 9 plus 9 is 18. You increase the 10s by 1 and decrease the 1s by 1. The net change is exactly 0. Even the mystical 1 to 8 loop exists purely because the second highest digit in our base 10 system is 8. Every time the doubling sequence hits a multiple of 8, the digital root is forced to reset exactly 1 step backward. The magnificent vortex is real, but it is an inescapable mathematical glitch programmed directly into our human counting system. We can prove this by stepping completely outside our numerical reality. Imagine if human history had evolved to count not by tens, but using a base 26 number system. The rigid rules required to create a vortex in any base state that the highest digit must be an odd square, and the second highest digit must be a digital root of a power of 2. This diagram illustrates a new vortex built on base 26. Here, the magical singularity at the top is no longer 9. It is 25. In this alternate reality, the numbers 3 and 6 lose all their special properties. The oscillating force is replaced by 24. The second we change the lens of our mathematical base, the cosmic supremacy of 3, 6, and 9 instantly vanishes. Recognizing this mechanical truth does not diminish Tesla's legacy as a visionary. Tesla's superpower was pattern recognition. He could visualize the phase shifts of alternating currents entirely in his head, mapping invisible forces with perfect precision. When his hyper-attuned mind looked at numbers, it simply detected the flawless, hidden symmetry of the base 10 system. He found a pattern so perfectly closed that he was unable to ignore it. Our base 10 system is a breathtaking achievement of human logic. It is a framework constructed to measure reality, and it naturally generates its own internal loops and perfect symmetries. Tesla's lifelong search for cosmic structure led him to the exact point where human counting systems become perfectly geometrically closed.